Welcome to Screencast, Kind of Funny's only entertainment-based podcast where we come together and talk about streaming services, TV shows, and movies.
Who are you?
Who are you?
No. This show's recorded live every Friday, most Fridays at 11 a.m. on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. And if you don't have time for that, that's totally fine. You can watch it on YouTube, Rooster Teeth. And also, if you don't like watching us, you can also listen to us on all your favorite MP3 services. If you want to support us, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunny and support at the bronze tier or silver tier and watch it. Bronze tier, you get to submit questions like many best friends often do. My name is Kevin Coelho, and to my immediate right, Nick Scarpino.
Is this a show where we do the haikus?
God damn it.
This is the haiku show, right?
Nick Scarpino, the man with the three-fingered review.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Good. Nick,
Yes.
you watch anything good this week? Discovery.
Yes. Thank you, Kevin. Hey, good job, Kev. I have been watching season 2 of Star Trek Discovery, and it is fucking great. Great show. If you're not watching it, you go to yourself, hey, I don't want to watch a Star Trek show. I've had enough Star Trek. You're wrong. You're dead wrong.
Dead wrong.
Dead wrong.
Anything else? Just Star Trek.
No, mostly just Star Trek.
How far did you get?
I tried to watch Bumblebee on the fucking flight
Sure.
to Kansas City,
Yeah.
Missouri, but United hates me.
They do.
So here's what I'm planning to watch this weekend: Bumblebee and Aquaman if they're on the flights. I haven't seen either of those movies.
To end them all.
Boom, boom. Which one do I start with? That's right, Aquaman, because I feel like it's going to be not as good as Bumblebee.
I think you're gonna like it. I enjoy the shit out of it.
I don't think I've seen anything else. I think this week has been a little rambunctious.
Yeah.
We're recording a Scotia early. Usually Thursday nights are my time to just sit back and watch all the documentaries, just all of them.
And to your right, my left, Tim, the verified
Tim.
Gettys.
Hey, let him host. Documentaries, this is all kind of blending. I think I talked about Free Solo last week.
Yes,
that I
you did.
watched
Yes, you
based
did.
on Nick's recommendation. Then also based on his recommendation, I watched Too Funny to Fail.
Oh, what'd you think?
It was fantastic. The Dana Carvey Show documentary. Very funny.
Okay.
I think I talked about it on the podcast.
It's on Hulu.
blended.
Yeah,
It's
it's all
blended.
blur. It's all blur.
But we tried. I started watching Wayne's World, and Gia was not having it.
What?
It hit
Really?
a point. It hit a point where she's just like, let's just watch the documentary. I was just like, all right, fair. We went over, and that was a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Then what I watched last night, what just came out last night, was Kevin Hart's new stand-up
Comedy special, yeah.
Right.
on Netflix.
What's in the box or whatever the hell it's called? He's in a giant box.
It's not called What's in the Box, but he is in a giant box.
I have it here somewhere.
How was that for you?
Irresponsible is what it's called.
Irresponsible.
That's what it is.
It is what you expect it to be. Kevin Hart is a funny guy. Everything he does is funny. He looks funny. He moves
Yeah.
funny. He has
Yeah.
a funny face.
Funny voice.
So it's like all
Kevin
that
Hart.
stuff. It's funny, right?
Kevin Hart.
But it's like, it's the
not
same
what he
problem I
sounds
had last week with Amy Schumer's,
Yeah.
where you're just kind of like, you're just famous, and it's like, you're there and you're entertaining, but like, there's a lot of really funny specials like The Tennessee Kid.
Nate Bargatze's. Yeah, I did watch that. I watched that on the plane.
Before we talk about that, I want to give a shout out though to Kevin Hart. Shot in the O2 Arena in London.
Oh.
It's where John Ace plays Wimbledon.
Oh
sometimes.
shit! Wow. They decided to do it wrestling style, where there's just a square
It's in the round,
the
right?
middle
Yeah.
of the whole thing with everyone around him. So every shot you see like
Was he moving around?
thousands of people. Yeah, a lot.
it's really
Kevin
cool.
Hart. It starts off in this giant video wall cube. It's just a cube with video walls on each side.
Does the cube go up?
The cube goes up.
Oh, I like that
As
a lot.
he's there, this video wall it's just fucking, it is so extra, so unnecessary.
That's what I'm talking
But
about.
it's great. It like that type of stuff's great. But it totally is. We were talking about this recently. It's like not the best venue for stand-up comedy.
No,
you lose
giant
a lot
arenas.
of the, you
they
lose a lot
tend
of the,
to
like,
not be that great.
one for ones, right?
Yeah.
But it was fun. I ended up watching the whole thing. Didn't think I was gonna.
Oh.
But how much of that was just laziness? Probably.
You
a lot.
literally just like, the controllers are, fuck it.
Like, yeah, there's
'Cause
nothing
that
else.
is a problem. You're like, I'm already committed to this, and it's maybe 70% of what I want it to be, but then I got to look for something else to watch, and who knows how long that could take.
knows?
I could end up blading through Netflix forever.
Blading through. I've always liked the term.
Blading.
All right, the shows I watched quite a bit this week. I also watched Nate. What's his last name?
I want to say Bargatze is his last name.
Nate
Bar-
Bargatze's The Tennessee Kid.
Yeah.
And I watched this during the flight, us coming back from Kansas City. I was in hysterics the entire time. I was so self-conscious about looking like a psychopath because I knew I was.
Oh, you got to let that
Yeah.
I
go.
did though.
Yeah,
You got to let that go, and if Andy's next to you, just embarrass him with it.
It was so much fun. I also watched Star Trek Discovery Season 2. I've watched everything that's out, which I believe is 11 episodes. I enjoyed it. Towards the end of the season, it's going in territory where I'm not super happy with it, but we'll see.
People have boldly never gone before.
They are boldly going where no one's
Yeah.
ever gone before.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to give a shout out to Discovery because every episode looks
it's-
like better than the 2009 movie. Like
100%.
everything looks, it's
so well
just
shot.
so
Really?
I
beautifully
was
done.
upset.
Yes.
I was upset that I was
It's
watching
so
it
cool.
on my phone and not like my
Dude,
dope TV.
I was watching it on my TV last night, and I'm like, this fucking show is just one of the best looking sci-fi shows ever.
They did a really good job, and that was one of the things that when Greg Miller went to the premiere of this season 2, that's one of the things that the producers were talking to him about. Were like, we really focused on the cinematics of this season.
Yeah.
And it looks really
Like
good.
action wise, no. Like action wise, the 2009 the J.J. Abrams movie just blows it out of the fucking water because there's so many great set pieces. But just sitting on the bridge, stunning.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about this is it's not necessarily about the action. It is going back to Star Trek's roots. And it's about just the moral choices and deep science and creating this world of intrigue and fun and it's just very well done.
I think there's maybe 2 or 3 more episodes left. I could be wrong about that, but I'm thinking about rewatching it all and seeing if Paula.
How
can
many
get her into
episodes
it.
is season 1?
Great question, Tim.
I
I'll
wanna
find that out
say
for you right now.
14.
Okay.
Could be 12.
You should
Yeah,
watch
I
it though.
feel like this could be something I convinced Gia to do.
Yeah.
Gia might like it.
I don't know
season
if I'm
20
gonna like it,
episodes,
though.
it says.
Is it 20 episodes?
20?
That's what it
No, that's
says.
the number of episodes that are out currently.
So
sorry.
11 minus. No, that can't be.
I don't
right.
think it was more than 12. Season 1. 15,
15.
Wow.
Cool. Yeah.
it looks like.
But dude, honestly, it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. Everyone.
When I Google this, it starts at the last episode. It goes all the way down to the first. That's dumb.
I also watched Arrested Development season 5 part B.
B.
It was really just awful. They got to stop
Awful.
making him. Yeah, there was a story in here that I almost put in here where it's during this convention that happened, Cinecon, I want to say.
Sure.
CinemaCon, that's it. They were the producers were interviewed and they were saying, "Oh, the actors all want to do more, but we'll see if Netflix wants to do more." I hope they don't do more because they keep hurting the
Legacy.
the
Yeah, the
beautiful legacy that Arrested Development seasons 1 through 3 have.
Yeah, the big problem with the newer ones, right, is that they couldn't get the whole cast all at the same time, so they had to kind of piece it together.
Yeah.
That was the issue, right?
That was the issue with 4. And I think that 5, they've got more of them together, but it just doesn't. It's
Hard to
not good.
believe that Jason Bateman's that hard to nail down, and Jeffrey Tambor.
Ozark.
Get them all in there.
Ozark's
that's
good.
right.
Have
He
you
is
seen
doing
Ozark?
From the side.
That shit is dark.
Gia's been watching the whole
That shit
thing.
is
Ozark
dark.
is
It's fucked up.
amazing. It's super fucked up, but it is amazing. And the last thing I watched was Twilight Zone, the first 2 episodes that came out. And fun fact, right now, Joey tells me that the first episode is on YouTube.
Yeah.
I couldn't find it, but also I didn't look that hard.
Yeah, it's
I'm
there.
sure it's there. It's not my favorite. Comparing it to the old shows is something you shouldn't do, but it's cool.
But it's something everyone's going to do.
Yeah,
Everyone's going to
cool,
compare
yeah.
Twilight Zone to the old shows, and they're all going to compare it to
Black Mirror.
Yeah.
It's all going to be Black Mirror. If it's not anywhere close to as good as Black Mirror, sorry, GTF out.
I felt like the first episode was way longer than it should have been. That would have been a good 30-minute thing. It was 55 minutes, and it's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to check it out.
I'm definitely excited to continue watching it. I don't like that I have to wait for weekly stuff. I'm a binger, so.
I also started watching briefly Parks and Rec,
Yeah.
which I had never watched before. I started watching it because I was going deep into my the homework that I had for Henry Winkler until I got winked. Until the Kansas City screw job happened. But I'll be honest with you, I see why people like Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec is phenomenal, and if you were watching, were you watching from the first season?
No, God, no. I started season 5.
It's so good.
It's one of those shows though that I just think that that style of humor isn't relevant anymore. It doesn't get me anymore. It's very 5 years ago, 6 years ago, which is not that far away. But
and if you were to start with the first season, it's even more.
yeah,
like that,
so it's a little too zany for me. So I'm probably not going to watch more of it. I still got to give Community and The League a shot. Those are the two that everyone's like, you got to go back and watch those.
alley.
Okay.
I've heard the same.
The League is basically Always Sunny, but they like football. It's all centered around fantasy football.
Always
sounds
Sunny is another one of those shows that when I watch, I'm like, I
much?
got to watch this. No, I got to
Oh,
watch that
really?
show.
No, you really do.
It's fucked up.
It's fantastic.
I mean, if I
Awful.
were to pitch you, Kevin, 3 to 4 people sitting around in the same environment every day, just almost insane how much they make fun of each other, just fuck with each other constantly, what would you say? Great programming,
love
right?
to watch that,
Great
yeah.
programming. Should subscribe to that channel right now.
Absolutely.
Real quick, Kev, I got a submission from a viewer who we told to go watch Dumbo and report back to us because none of us were going to go watch
Fuck
Dumbo.
no, I don't want to
I
cry
might
that
watch
much.
Dumbo this weekend.
I'm not crying that much.
So the report from Sean-Luc Picard at Soars.
I'm Sean-Luc Picard.
You wanted me to check in with you about Dumbo last week during Screencast. It was very okay. Some of it is good and interesting, but it's all undone by bad characters and plot points that are picked up and dropped at will. Keaton and DeVito are good, though. And also, I've been watching...
It's okay. No. Enjoy it.
I've also been rewatching Avatar The Last Airbender. It's one of the greatest animated shows of all time, if not one of the greatest shows of all time. Peace out.
It really is one of the greatest animated shows of all time. Were you ever into Avatar?
No.
Fucking up.
I know.
Now it's time for some housekeeping. First, we want to thank Patreon producer David Meintel. And on Saturday, April 6th, from 3 to 6, some of us will be at Ease Bar's morning. Is it
Ease Bar and
in
Restaurant
Morning Heights?
at Morning Heights.
That's it. For our New York meet and greet, continuing the world tour.
It'll be awesome.
This show is brought to you by our sponsors, Quip and Mint Mobile. But more about that later. Now it's time for some news.
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 I love
News.
it. Our
News.
first-
News. I was translating you.
Yeah, sorry. Our first story, Umbrella Academy Season 2 confirmed by Netflix. It's very brief. There was not much more information than that given out. But man, I'm stoked. I really liked Umbrella Academy Season 1. Can't wait for Season 2.
I'm happy for you.
I could not watch past the first episode of that show.
You're so
It's very
interesting.
weird.
It is very weird. It is very weird.
It's strange. It's a talking monkey.
Yeah,
You're
it
like,
is. Pogo.
Yeah.
Pogo's great.
Pogo the monkey.
Yeah.
Goes the man.
He's
All
the
right.
monkey.
Our second news story. Moving on. THX Ultimate Cinema, a new premier large format brand, is debuting this year. It's coming spring or summer 2019.
Summer.
It's spring/summer.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
It's summer/fall.
Absolutely. Man, not a lot of information here given out that is super exciting. Their big thing is the TH Ultimate Cinema offers TH certified auditoriums with that uses Barco's ultra bright 4K and HDR capable dual laser projection systems combined with THX certified immersive sound of theater's choice that exceeds the number of speakers used in the 7.1 surround that could also be included in Dolby Atmos. Yeah. So are you guys excited at all for this?
I'm excited for it for one reason. It breeds competition, and it's going to hopefully push Dolby to get in more theaters and in more auditoriums in each theater. Because currently, we don't have many options for proper Dolby in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
I definitely would like to see more. And this is solving a big problem where IMAX at this point is an inferior platform. It's bigger, and that's great, and it allows us to see when movies are shot in IMAX, which is very rare.
Yeah.
But with things like Avengers, that is the case. Right. But one of the bigger reasons for wanting to see IMAX before was the sound was so superior to normal theaters. And that's still true. But compared to Dolby, it is nothing. The THX used to be the standard of sound.
Yeah.
And now it's way behind technology. It's the equivalent of watching a 480p video, standard DVD compared to a 4K video, but on the audio side. So I think that it's great that they're at least trying something new and are going to push it to be in more theaters. But, I also think that splitting the formats too much at some point becomes an issue because even we see this now with HDR and the different compliances that they have with HDR10 versus Dolby Vision versus all that, where it's like the Avengers Infinity War 4K Blu-ray, the disc supports HDR10. It doesn't support Dolby Vision, which is better. But the digital 4K version does support Dolby Vision, but because it's digital, it's not as good quality.
Right, lower,
it's are you come on, guys, figure this shit out. So I'm hoping this doesn't add more complications with all of that. But
I'm only excited for this because I want to be in the seat and have them blast the old
and then feel that
so
rumble
cool. Yep,
up your ass.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Nick, any interest in
I got him interested.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, look, new tech is great. I'm always one of those people that I just kind of whatever tickets Tim buys me, I'll go see. But I will say this, like the what's the theater? Is it the Dolby Theater that's here with the great projector?
Yeah, the Dolby
Yeah,
Theater.
that's what we're talking about.
The projector is still on.
I would have before you guys told me that you're like it's super great. I'm like whatever, it's another fucking projector. And then you see it, you're like, whoa, that is a marked difference. That's actually a better viewing experience because of this. So yeah, sure. Any new tech in theaters, as far as I'm concerned, is great.
And it's important because we need to keep theaters going if we have any interest in going to theaters, or else they're not going to exist eventually. And we've talked about this so many times with the day one digital and all this shit. But at the end of the day, for years, OLED TVs like we have at home were better than anything we could see in movie theaters. Why would we do that? Like when our experience at home is better, not just because we get to be there naked and like talk to our friends, also naked, but also because
Having your pants off.
it was
too.
better, you know?
Yeah.
There wasn't this shitty film grain spots you
Right,
see.
right,
There
right.
wasn't like random ass problems and light leak and all that and like the blacks looking like grays, you know? Now, at least it matches our home experiences and the sound is unbelievable. Like we can get sound that's great at home for thousands and thousands of dollars, but
And
not
someday we
in
will.
San Francisco. Not when you're living with your house built next to someone else's, and you can't fucking have that. And every seat in a Dolby Atmos theater has a subwoofer in the seat. Fuck yeah!
That's cool.
That's insane.
That's real cool.
Yeah.
The only thing that excites me more than this technology is when they eventually move to like OLED technology for the screens. They're doing that at some point.
Working on LED, like an LED screen where
That's
it's
gonna
just
be-
a big old screen.
That's going to be
interesting.
very interesting to see how
Yeah.
that works, because that's what you guys are talking about right there. Where it's you want true blacks, it's really just going to be true blacks. But I'll miss the projector. I already missed the projector tick, like the actual ticking of the film going through the projector. I missed that sometimes.
It's so funny. I didn't realize how much I missed it. Or, I guess there was nostalgic feelings when we went to watch, what was it? Interstellar, that had the projector going.
Oh, it was Interstellar. Yeah, the one
Yeah.
I remember distinctly, Interstellar was one, but the one I remember was when we saw the Roadshow, the 70mm Hateful Eight. I was like, oh man, this is a cool throwback.
Yeah.
And there's grain and there's all that stuff, and it's undeniable that all that stuff. I would vastly prefer the cleaner image now.
Absolutely.
But yeah, there is a nice touch of nostalgia for that. But
Yeah.
eventually it's going to go away. We're just going to
Totally.
get gigantic TV screens in theaters, and
I
then
just
they're
feel
gonna
like
go away.
the nostalgia, like that's a gimmicky thing that like should every once in a while. Hateful Eight, yeah, I want to see the film grain.
Yeah.
It's like I'm there for the.
Well, I
the
mean, let's be
experience.
perfectly even with movies that are shot on film, like I know J.J. Abrams shot Star Wars on film and the Star Trek movies on film, I believe. They still clean up that shit. They still digitize it and then clean it all up. So you're not really getting film that much anymore, anyway. But yeah, it's nice to see that they're pushing new technologies, trying to figure out new ways to get butts and seats for theaters, because I don't want them to die.
Yeah.
I also don't want them to die. So keep going.
Like I just don't think you're going to ever get Endgame unless we have theaters. I just don't think it's good. I just don't feel like you can have, like, the theaters at this point are, it forces people to care and get up and go to have a common experience, that I just feel like everything's so disjointed when it is a streaming service, or when it's like a big moment on streaming service. I just don't think it's as big as when we have the theatrical release of something. And I know it's all perceived value, really. It's all just bullshit gimmick. Like, hey, the theatrical window is dumb and we don't need it anymore. But it's nice that we have it,
like
and as long
it.
as we all believe in it, it'll be a thing.
I like it, and I do think it makes it an experience.
It does.
Because otherwise, you're just watching a movie at home, which I understand. We've
You're
got
watching
great
it, yeah.
setups, and we like.
Or as Steven Spielberg said, you're watching a TV movie.
Fuck that dude.
No.
Hey,
no.
Barrett. Bad Barrett.
I'm gonna move on to our next news story. Netflix live-action Cowboy Bebop series casts John Cho as the impossibly cool lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spike Spiegel.
Awesome.
I'm so fucking
all
into this.
about
Spike Siegel. Now, I've never watched Cowboy
Spiegel.
Bebop,
You're fucking up.
Isn't it?
which seems like a mistake.
Oh, you're fucking up.
Yeah, you're really.
but
fucking
like
up.
now, should I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
This will not be as good as the cartoon.
Well, I
as
know,
the
but that's
anime.
why maybe I should watch this first,
No.
and
Watch the
then go to
anime.
the cartoon.
No.
Watch
Don't do
the
that.
cartoon.
That's
Yeah,
like
it's-
saying I should watch the Death Note movie first on Netflix and then go back and watch the cartoon.
Yeah.
This is a dumb
Yeah,
idea.
I guess that's
Bad.
true.
Just stupid
It would make
idea.
a lot of
It's
sense.
on Hulu, Kev.
I think there's a Cowboy Bebop movie also.
Yeah.
That
Like
sounds
animated
there
movie,
is.
right?
Animated
It's an
movie,
animated
yeah.
movie
It's
that-
great.
It came out like a year or two after.
Tell you
the
what, it's
series
just all
ended.
pure cool. It's just cool.
It's real cool.
Spike's a badass.
And
Yeah.
also, John
It's
Cho's a
ba-
badass.
It's
Yeah.
it's essentially like, did you like Firefly?
Kind of.
This is better.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
This is
good. There were some other cast members announced. Mustafa Shakir, Daniela Pinata, and Alex Hassel. I don't recognize any of them.
I'd Google him. Daniela.
The guy that they
Mustafa.
the guy they cast as Jet is from what's the one Netflix Marvel? Luke Cage season 2. The girl is from Jurassic World, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, was he the main bad guy?
Oh yeah,
in Luke Cage?
she was the one in Jurassic World. It's like, I'm a hacker, but I am cool. I'm not a nerdy hacker. You're like, shut up.
The little kid.
No, she was like the one they brought in. Right.
Yeah. Remember when she goes and hacks the little kid in Jurassic Park 1?
I hacked a kid.
Anyways, I'm super excited for this show.
Watch the original on Hulu.
That's the thing. Like this show, like this coming to like Netflix as a series. Like I'm more excited.
No, it's great
To rewatch
Again,
the old
this
stuff
is the
then.
thing is like, people are always going to complain about Hollywood remakes and all this stuff. At the end of the day, it raises awareness of things that we love. We should not look at that as a bad thing. We should look at it as a good thing. So more people are now going to go back and watch Cowboy Bebop because they're interested in it.
That's right.
Awesome.
They do have the corgi. I gotta go back and watch this. It's on
Yeah,
Hulu.
you do.
That's everyone's homework. Watch this on the way.
We don't do
Watch
homework.
this on the way to New York this week.
Yeah.
All right. Now for some Marvel news. Captain Marvel soars past $1 billion at the box office.
A billy.
After breaking box office records on its opening weekend last month, Marvel Studios' Captain Marvel has shattered another cinematic milestone and surpassed $1 billion at global box office.
It's nuts, man. Honestly, it's really crazy that like we're now at a point where 7 MCU movies have crossed $1 billion. I blanked out there for a second. Did you say the number of how many there have been total? I think it's 38.
No, I didn't.
38 movies ever have done this. 7 of them are MCU movies out of the 22.
That's wild.
Or 21 at this
Yeah.
point. But I mean, we know that it's going to be 8 out of 22 soon. But it's cool that, you look at Black Panther, you look at Captain Marvel. Those are 2 like unknown properties, all things considered. And we're at a point where the other ones are Avengers movies and Iron Man movies.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
We're now getting these unknown characters breaking
It's really cool.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
And again, Iron Man was the same way in 2008, and now he's not. What does this mean for things like Eternals? What does this mean for, going forward with any of
The
the
bar
other
is
ones?
high is what it means.
The bar is
Yeah.
very high,
Yeah,
but also
'cause-
they don't need to do this. They don't need to break $1 billion.
But like you got to imagine there's more people that are now informed that like
Every movie's going to keep
every
adding.
movie keeps adding people, so it makes it easier for them to get a bigger box office number. And like that's awesome, but like, also that's a lot of pressure. There's now even more people that can be like online being like, this is awful or disappointed, Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to say that, kudos to Marvel for actually making good movies that make a ton of money, but I just looked up how much Aquaman made, and it's at $1.14 billion.
I had to tell you,
So it's
Aquaman,
like,
a lot of fun.
I can't wait,
You just
Kev.
gotta check it out.
I can't wait. I
I
want to
hope you
lock
watch
eyes
it
with you
first.
as I start watching it. I'm going to give you the wink,
I'm
and
not
we're going to
going
go for
with
a
you to
ride.
New York.
We're going to go for a ride.
Monsters.
I'm
I'm
going
not
to
going.
text you as I start watching it.
Okay.
And that you're not going to get that text
gonna be a
until
gif
5 hours later.
Yeah.
of him winking.
Hopefully, I get several texts from you.
I'll
response.
text it to you live.
Because a lot of it remind me of a Steven Seagal movie.
Oh, man.
A lot of it.
Is he hard to kill? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just call the movie that. Hard to kill? But that means you can still kill him. Yeah, but he's hard to
Yeah,
kill.
but it'd be tough. It'd be
It's real
tough. Yeah.
How
Superman
about,
could do
how
it
about
easy.
impossible to kill? No, it's not that.
All right. For more Avenger news, Avengers Endgame tickets went on sale this week, and oh boy, was it chaos!
It was utter chaos. But one man stood triumphant.
I'll tell you
That was
this.
me. 28 tickets for the first showing, baby.
Love it. Tim, by the way, is now officially my ticket guy.
Ticketmaster.
I've
Tim
just
Gettys.
resigned that there are some things that I'll never be good at, and waking up early and having stubs and all that stuff, I'm just not going to be that guy. So like just how Tim has Kevin to like do like stuff that requires manual labor or like technical thought, I now have Tim as my ticket guy. And you know what? I feel great about this decision.
Yeah.
Nick,
Yeah.
I woke up at 5 a.m.
Yeah. How'd it go?
Couldn't buy a goddamn ticket
Yeah.
to save my life.
Tim did it.
Same.
Yeah. Tim
Tim
did
had-
it. Tim came in and got tickets for
Tim
the whole
VPN'd
company and
into
then a
Europe.
couple other companies.
He VPN'd into Europe and then cross VPN'd back in the States, and they
Yeah.
sold him the tickets.
It's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
They didn't know.
Utter
It
You
was
know,
awesome.
whenever you buy something, it says 1 per customer. Tim always gets 2. Always.
You got to find the way.
So, Obviously, they broke pre-sale ticket records.
No shit.
But they did it within the first 6 hours.
Well, here's the thing. It's funny you say obviously because it's not that obvious really when you like break it down. Like they're going to break records, but what would those records be? Would it be number one? Not necessarily. You look at the top 5 movies that have broken this record of most pre-sales within the first 24 hours. Number 1 was Force Awakens. Number 2 was Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Then
Rogue One.
Wasn't it Infinity War number 3?
No, I have Rogue One and
Rogue
number
One,
3.
and then
Infinity
Infinity
War.
War.
I don't have the 5th one
Gotcha.
because it's the new list.
yeah, and then Infinity War. So it's like when you look at that, Infinity War had so much hype
So
going
much
into
hype.
it, where it's like I feel like Endgame almost has that the drop off point from it, where it's just like, can it go more from here? Because it's the part 1, right? It was like the big moment, and that's just been proven wrong. We're in a new era now where it's like we don't need action in trailers and shit to sell this stuff. It's for the story. People are so invested and want to know what happens. So they blew past all of those other Star Wars movies in 6 hours.
Insane.
It makes sense. I mean, like there's I love Star Wars, despite some criticisms I've had of the series of late. But it's like what Marvel's doing is just unfucking precedented.
It's
just
so
not.
cool.
There's just there's never been anything like this, and this is a cultural phenomenon that's happening, and we're all a part of it. And I just got to be honest with you. 30 years from now, when the machines take over, and my kids go, "Hey, Uncle Nick, you're not really my kid because I just found you on the side, but I'm fucking raised you as my own. Right? I'm gonna teach you how to be me." And he goes, "Uncle Nick, I'm Daddy Nick. What was it like back in the day?" I was like, "Oh, let me tell you about this time." The Endgame time. It was a beautiful moment in our history. We all put our differences aside and we all fucking drank Diet Cokes and went to the thing, ate some popcorn.
Yeah.
And it was great.
So that's true. This is definitely a moment like we've never seen before. But there's an argument to be made that Force Awakens was like a moment that we've never seen before.
No.
You know?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We saw that moment before. 10 years earlier, I stood outside the fucking Edwards Theater in Fashion Island, and I was like, this is going to be great.
Yep.
Star Wars is back. Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
Oh, pod racing. What's that?
You came out of it liking, right? I mean, or
Phantom
like,
Menace?
Yeah.
No, it was the first movie I'd ever walked out of going, yeah, I liked it. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't think I like that movie. And I didn't know how to deal with it because it was the first time I'd ever thought. I was like, I remember never looking forward to something that much in my entire life. Watching the trailer over and over and over again, being that jacked, and then walking out of it going, wow, that wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. Like I've never been that disappointed walking out of a film.
But Force Awakens had the opposite going into it, where it's just like, oh my God, we got through the bad stuff, and like every single step they're making right now is right, and this is gonna be awesome. And then it broke records, duh. But now for Endgame to come through, holy crap, man, it's gonna just destroy everything.
Yeah,
It doubled the first week sales of Infinity War within the first day as well. The first entire week.
Insane.
It'll be interesting to see how this stacks up against Star Wars Episode 9: Return of the Force, or whatever the fuck they're going to call it, and see if that can actually come close to. I don't think it's even going to come close to breaking this record.
I think that Last Jedi being so controversial, there's going to be a lot less excitement for it.
I don't think so. I think that it beats Infinity War.
You think it beats Infinity War?
I think it could be.
Also beat Rogue One.
I mean, it's the end of 9 movies, but I don't know. I mean, the problem with Marvel is that they've got such a built-in mechanism for keeping you hyped, right? Whenever you start to wane, you're like,
well, it's not a problem.
Yeah, and then Miss Marvel comes out, or Captain Marvel comes out, and you're like, oh, okay, that was good. Like all those the interim movies just get you, just bump you right back up.
They've been doing such a good job.
So
with them,
good,
man.
right? Like, and that's the hardest thing. Like, I always think to myself, when am I going to turn the corner and be like, fuck these Marvel movies? Captain Marvel comes out, I'm like, they got me. That was pretty good. Oh, fucking Endgame's right there. Yeah, let's kick it.
Yeah.
Let's go. I got to call my ticket guy. Boop, boop, bop, boop, boop. Tim, give me a ticket. I already got you a ticket. I'm Tim Gettys. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah.
But on the other end, I think it's hard to say right now what episode 9 will do until we see a trailer.
We'll see a trailer, maybe.
Yeah. And then once I think we see that trailer and see the reaction from that, I think then we'll get a good idea of like what episode 9 can break.
Honestly, I feel it's like take all those emotions and all that stuff aside. It doesn't matter. Like when you look at where movies are at now, it's like it doesn't matter what Last Jedi did. The amount of people that didn't like Last Jedi that aren't going to go see 9 is slim compared to the flip of that.
But we're talking
to
specifically pre-sale tickets. That's what I'm saying, right? Like
even that too. Like,
I don't see a ton of people being this into Episode 9: Return of Luke Skywalker's kids or whatever.
I mean, we don't have to worry about that because Tim's just gonna get the tickets for us.
Tim's our guy.
Bless
Tim,
you.
he hates it, by the way.
I mean,
he pulled me aside. He's like, I hate that on this guy. I'm like, look, man. Do you think
No,
Tiger
we
Woods?
all-
Do you
we
think Tiger
all
Woods
tried.
loves golf? But he's great at it. So he goes and does it. Every day he wants to kill himself with a fucking 9-iron, but he
get in
can't
that
do
hole.
it
Jesus
because he
Christ.
can't generate the force required. He just keeps knocking himself
but Tim,
out.
You were trying. I was trying. I believe Barrett
And Joey.
and
I
Joey
thought
were
about
trying.
trying.
And they didn't get any tickets for that night.
Joey,
I
thank
got
God,
28
because Joey probably got
in
tickets,
Dolby.
but she got tickets to the world's smallest screen where they don't even have audio.
Let's not be mean. I'm sure she would have gotten the Dolby.
I got
She's
I got
rocking it.
Saturday tickets that morning though for Kabuki, one of the coolest.
I got
theaters.
Sunday tickets
Yeah.
later that day.
Yeah, we're gonna see it in IMAX.
Yeah, from the corner perspective. So we'll see how
that's
that
the
goes.
best perspective.
Yeah.
That, would you believe that's every IMAX experience I've ever had? Because I don't.
Really?
Yeah, I don't book the tickets
dude,
ahead of
the
time.
middle, the middle seats is where you want to be.
We saw Last Jedi in IMAX, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I was,
Force Awakens.
was it Force Awakens?
No, it was Last Jedi.
No, it was Last Jedi. And I was like, oh, okay.
They're not bad.
So some conservative estimates have the latest Marvel movie taking in somewhere between 200 million and 250 million. But after this week of sales, the estimate now has moved up to 260 million, which would put it at
Is this for opening week?
for opening weekend.
Oh, it's gonna be the best
beating,
opening weekend
and like
period.
if it hits that projection, which I have a feeling it will, it's gonna beat Avengers: Infinity War, which opened at 257.6 million.
It's definitely going to. And at this point, if I were Kevin Feige, I'd be like, this is when I get the bathtub made of gold. You know, this is when I get the toilet made of gold, the bathtub, the shower, my whole bathroom just gold. Not gold plated, Kevin. Solid gold to the point where we have to put support structure underneath it if it's on the second story.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it
Support
falls
structure,
right through.
Made of gold.
Exactly. Everything's gold. Golden household. That's what I want.
Another fun Marvel movie theater news. AMC Marvel Movie Marathon will show all 22 MCU films will run 59 hours and 7 minutes.
So,
Checks out.
Tim, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Heard you having a fun debate yesterday with one Fran Mirabella.
Yeah.
Oh no. I don't
And
like
you
this. I don't
you
like
were
this
saying
one
that
bit.
he was like, I'm gonna watch. He's like, I'm Fran Mirabella. I'm gonna watch all the movies in order of when they were supposed to happen in the universe,
Chronological order.
not in order of release. I'm gonna watch them in chronological order. I'm starting with Captain America, the first Avenger, and you were like, don't fucking do that. Just watch them in order of when they came out. And then the Russo brothers were like, no, here's how you do it, guys. Start with Captain America, and they fucked you. We're calling it the Russo brothers fuck job.
Here's the thing. There's a lot of misunderstandings going on here. I'm a huge proponent of watching movies when they came out. Like that's the order.
Absolutely.
That's the order. Like it doesn't matter storyline wise what happened.
No one-
That's the way that it was designed.
Real quick, just no one should ever introduce Star Wars into someone's world and be like, let's
start
watch
with the Phantom Menace. I'm starting with Phantom Menace.
I feel like that is the like trump card to be like, hey, you can't do that to your kids.
Yes. Now machete orders and like random just watching things in different ways. Sure, I understand it's a fun novelty, but it's like if you're watching these things for the first time, you should watch them the way they were put out. I do think there are some exceptions. Some things can work, but I feel like the post-credit scenes in the Marvel movies are the things that fuck all of that entirely.
Absolutely.
When you're looking at Phase 1, like Fran had already seen Phase 1, so we weren't actually talking about that stuff. Watching First Avenger before Iron Man, it really doesn't matter. Like that, there are certain things that don't have much consequence. But
The post-credit scene.
Yeah, the
The post-credit scene is a lot stronger when it goes in the right order.
yeah, and so there you fucking go.
Well, not only
And-
that, but like some of the side characters, some of the characters that have changed. It's important to understand how the films have evolved. I would say, you know, like remember, like Don Cheadle wasn't Don Cheadle in the first Iron Man. It was Terrence Howard, and so understanding kind of like that, I don't think matters. But
Yeah.
but you know, understanding how those happen and how they evolved, I think
Absolutely.
is an important connecting tissue for all of these films.
There are certain movies that I feel that if Kevin Feige could now just put them out, like make a slate knowing everything that happened, he would have put them in different orders. So I think that's clear. Like it's weird that Doctor Strange appears and then isn't in a movie for so long, right? Like I feel like that should have been closer to Ragnarok if I'm remembering this correctly.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's introduction comes at a weird time. Like there's just a lot of things like that I feel like they would have changed. But guess what? They didn't. These are the way the movies were made.
is how it is.
Fuck you, Fran.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Suck, Fran.
I just think the post-credit scenes are so important. And I think that one of the big reasons Endgame is like, I'm not saying like attributing all this attention to the post-credit scenes, but like Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel, their end credit scenes get you so hyped up for Endgame. Where it's like, we all walked out of both those movies and we're like, man, that end credit scene though really changed some stuff. It really changed the tone of like what I was feeling as I'm walking out. Yeah,
it's a dumb idea.
it's a dumb idea. And now it's time for some ads. No, I just flipped that one and did nothing. Our first ad is Quip.
One of the most important ad off my phone. Oh, it's a Coke can.
One of the most important things we do for our health every day is brushing our teeth. Yet most of us don't do it properly. It's your oral health, and with Quip electric toothbrush, sticking to good habits is simple. Sensitive sonic vibrations for an effective clean that's gentle on your sensitive gums. Built-in 2-minute timer that pulses every 30 seconds to remind you when to switch sides and help you to clean your whole mouth evenly. The multi-use cover works as a stand and mounts to mirrors. That's my favorite thing about it. Nick and Gia have been using theirs, and I love how easy and reliable it all is.
It's true. I have it too.
I think Greg's got one now too.
Yeah, Barrett has one. I think the majority of us have them. At this
need to
point.
get one.
You got to get it, man. It's really great.
We should all bring them together like we had like their lightsabers.
Just keep them in your pocket, ready to open. That's where it's going.
Yes.
Well, that's why we love Quip and why over 1 million happy, healthy mouths do too. Get Quip. No. Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com/KFMS, right now you can get your first refill pack for free. That's your first refill pack for free at getquip.com/KFMS. Our second ad is from Mint Mobile. There's a lot of things in life that aren't right. Carpet and showers, eating dip with your fingers, chunky style milk, paying too much for your phone bill. Now, that's not right. But thanks to Mint Mobile, you don't have to overpay for wireless anymore. With Mint Mobile, you can cut your wireless bill down to just $15 a month. They've reimagined wireless, making it easy and online only, which means they can pass significant savings directly to you. Tim, your mom uses Mint Mobile
She does.
now.
It's going to save me personally over $1,000 a year. I'm very excited about this. It was super easy to set up. You can use any phone that you have, or you can buy a phone straight from Mint. They send it to you. They send you the SIM card. You put it in, and you're going.
Yeah, and that phone works real good, doesn't it?
It does. A little too well, if you ask me for how often she calls me. But you know what?
Hey, man, it's always important to keep in touch with your family. Every plan comes with unlimited nationwide talk and text, and if you're not 100% satisfied, Mint Mobile has you covered with their 7-day money-back guaranteed. Ditch your old wireless bill and start saving with Mint Mobile. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month, and to get the plan, shipped. No, and get the phone
Or plan.
shipped to
They
your...
ship the plan to you. They ship a little card thing that has the SIM card. And you put
Got it.
Yeah.
And get the plan shipped to you, to your door for free. Go to mintmobile.com/morning. That's mintmobile.com/morning. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month and get free shipping on your Mint Mobile plan at mintmobile.com/morning. Now it's time for some trailer talk.
It's trailer talk time.
I like that.
I like that too.
I kind of want to call this the trailer rundown and then play the song. And I ran so far away.
Look, I
gotta watch some trailers.
I wasn't on board at the beginning, but he might have won me over.
Yeah. God, Vice City. What
All
a
right, the first trailer we're going to be talking about is Game of Thrones.
The game.
Little tease, a nice little tease. This is what I love, man.
Aftermath.
This is the type of stuff that I want. Like I was complaining a couple weeks ago about the trailer they put out. I'm like, why? We don't need to see this stuff out of context, like reveals that would have been nice to have just seen in the show. It's like, no. Show this. Do something that's unique as marketing material that gets you pumped, that gives you a good idea of the tone that we're going towards, and just do something fucking cool. And they did something fucking
It's cool. This is
going
what,
through.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it's Winterfell, covered in snow. Winter has came all over this place.
Yeah.
Ew.
It's arrived.
And next thing you know, it's like you're seeing Bran's wheelchair. You're seeing Needle. You're seeing Jaime's hand. You're seeing the weird little dragon sash thing that Daenerys wears. You're seeing seeing what's
sword.
the name of
You
the
get
sword?
a sword, right?
Longhorn,
Wolf sword.
blade,
Wolfhound.
blade,
No.
bear, mountain sword,
Long
Mama
claw.
says-
long claw.
Thank you.
You see long claw?
Sorry, you
seeing
guys
all
are
this
throwing
stuff?
so much at me where I was like, I don't know, my
We're just trying
brain's
to
not
get you there. We're
functioning
trying to
yet.
get you there.
Yeah, so it's like fucking cool, and then you just see the Night King coming through.
Yep.
Yeah,
Man,
dude, Game
what
of Thrones,
a
final season.
what a
Couldn't
great
be more hyped.
trailer. Like I didn't agree with you initially where it was like, yeah, I like getting a little glimpse of what we're gonna see and being able to like sit there and try to break it down and think about like what's the season bring us. But man, it is fun when it's just like, here's a post, Night King victory world. Let's see. It's so dark and it's like that's what they're fighting against to stop this. It's really exciting.
Into it, man.
Love it. Let's bring it
go.
on. Let's
April
go.
16th.
Let's go.
We will be doing Game of Thrones.
Make it
review
happen.
every Monday. Whoa!
Oh,
Priscilla came running in here. He was stoked.
What part?
All right, next trailer we're talking about is Endgame special look.
Yeah, man. Another example of I bought the tickets. I saw that this came out, and I saw that there was just a minute video that was associated. I was just like, I wonder if it's a new trailer. And they said special look. I'm like, I wonder what this means. Is there going to be new footage in it? Yeah, there was. Didn't expect that. Didn't expect that at all.
Didn't need it. Don't need to see that.
Don't need to
We're
see it.
We're good.
Here's the thing, though. I'm okay with it because with all the stuff that they've been talking about the editing the trailers and there being fake footage and shit, they know what the hell they're doing. I don't
really
expect to see any of that the way that we saw it in this trailer.
Probably not.
I'm so excited. And like I thought I hit my saturation point. I didn't want any more. And like this trailer came out, didn't watch it, and then later I came into the office and was like, Tim, did you watch the trailer? And he's like, yeah. I was like, is it like should I watch it? He's like, go watch it right now.
It's fucking tight, man.
And it's a good trailer.
It's real good. Like that scene with Cap and Tony shaking hands is just I doubt that that's going to be exactly as
Do you
we saw
trust
it.
me?
It's a
I
great
trust
line.
you.
Fucking great line. And the
Handshake.
final
We're
shot
back, baby.
of the big three walking towards Thanos. It's like
Oh,
the three guys that have had trilogies,
cool.
going towards the bad guy of these movies.
Who
is
is it?
so
Is it Iron
fucking
Man?
cool. Thor and
Thor and Captain America.
yeah,
That's awesome.
So fucking great. But is that scene in the movie? I don't know.
I fucking
I
hope
don't
so.
fucking know.
I'm happy either way. Like I just
failure.
God, I'm so excited, and this
bragging
month
on me.
can't go by fast enough.
Yeah, man. Oof, let's go, baby.
Hey, we got our tickets. Thanks to
Iron
my
Man's
ticket guy.
like we finally get to see Iron Man's suit in this movie, and it's like very reminiscent of his original look with the yellow arms and legs. Just fucking cool, man.
Yeah. This trailer did its job. It got me even more hyped on I can't go any higher at this point.
Yeah,
I'm close to a heart attack.
It's just what I imagine. What happens when the Viagra pill works too well, and you got to go have the thing drained. You're like, I love it. This is
God,
great.
Jesus.
This is great. But it's
feel like
lasting a long time. I'm just redlining it. I'm redlining it. You know?
Is the red line the vein?
Yeah.
No, I think the red line.
I just
is
meant
the
like a
whole
car.
thing
You're
itself.
redlining like you're at
Yeah.
your highest
No,
rev
I understand
possible,
that. I just
and you're
was
about to
trying to bring it back to the
explode.
dick.
So you have to just have
What's the last trailer that we talked about?
Last trailer we want to talk about is Joker trailer came out.
Christ.
Very, very interesting because I think it's a good trailer. I think that it's a good trailer and it like does good things. Like it's like, man, this seems like this could be a compelling story, but there are a lot of problems that I feel like are more telling for the overall thing. I didn't like any of like the scenes where he's doing the crazy dancing and stuff. Didn't like that he goes up and opens this little kid's smile and it's like, oh, in IMDb it seems like that's gonna be Bruce Wayne. It's like,
No. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that there's a mixed bag for me. I like the style of the trailer. I like the song playing in the background. I like all the imagery we're seeing, but I just can't stop thinking someone on set's like, hey man, just so you know, Joker's crazy. And then having Joaquin Phoenix go, yeah, he laughs a lot, right? Like it just doesn't. It's not. You know what I mean? Like it's not gelling for me at this point. It's not gelling for me how the first time I saw Heath Ledger as Joker, I was like, oh shit, this is something different. Like this is him giving us a Joker that we want, but also just slightly different and really nailing it. I just feel like to use a Tim Gettys term, like this is too extra. There's just too much in this. Him doing the weird belly dance, him laughing on this by himself. I don't know. You know, again, maybe I'm bringing my own bias into this. Like, I don't really want a fucking Joker origin story. I don't even give a shit if this isn't the official one. This is just an offshoot. I don't want to know anything about the Joker. That's the whole point of the Joker. You know?
I really hope this movie ends and he's telling it as a story to Harlequin. Like, I think that would be a cool thing where it's like, oh, this is not really his origin. Like, he doesn't have an origin.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because when I first saw it, I was a lot more down on it than I am now. I rewatched it this morning. I was just like, all right, like this, it looks good. It looks good, right? But the problem is, I just feel like, echoing kind of what you guys are saying, this movie seems kind of pointless. And we were talking about this yesterday. Every movie's pointless. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Is it entertaining or not? But I feel like we have to understand the context at which this movie's coming out, and it is after a lot of like mixed reactions, to say the least, DC movies, right? And the problem is, it's at the same time that MCU is happening and Endgame and all this positive stuff, and Sony has its side, and there's just superheroes everywhere, supervillain movies everywhere. For this to come out, it's like the Joker is one of the coolest bad guys in pop culture history, up there with Darth Vader and Joffrey and Thanos, right? But his origin story has never been interesting. Nobody wants to know that. I like the idea of the Dark Knight really kind of honed in on, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter.
What a fucking great way to do it.
And for them to like be like, oh, this is it. This is what's happening. It's like, that's fine, but like nothing about that is exciting to me. And it's like, this could be a good movie, could be a decent movie, but it's like, I almost don't want it to end with Harley Quinn. I almost don't want it to be in this bigger world. No. But then on the other side, it's like, but if it doesn't, then what's the point of it being a Joker movie if there's no Batman, if there's no characters that mean something to us?
I mean, I'm all for this to be like a one-off run, right? Where you're like, oh, this is like just an alternate take on the Joker's story. I'm all for that, and I'll give it a shot for sure. It's Martin Scorsese, for Christ's sake. It's Todd Phillips. But I'm with you on that one, right? Like, one of the most unbelievably smart things they did in The Dark Knight was you hear him tell the story of how he got the scars, and you go, fuck, that's fucked up. We totally get why this guy's fucked up. Then you hear him tell it again, and it's a completely different story. You go, oh shit, this dude, nobody knows anything about this dude, and that's fucking terrifying, and it makes sense, and that's the Joker. To take some of that away is just like to flesh him out as a character. What's the fucking point? Like, it's just going to diminish the character.
And I hope that I'm wrong feeling that way. I hope that we watch it and it's like, oh, cool. This added some mythos to a character that's cool, even if it is its own take. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it being its own world, and I just don't have too much faith in that. And this trailer, good trailer.
It's a good trailer.
I wouldn't say great trailer. It was good.
It's okay. It feels like one of those trailers they shot a lot for the trailer, where like there's a lot of shots of him doing stuff around the city, and you're like, they just take him out on the steps and make him walk down the steps and make him just walk down the hallway and make him laugh. Like, obviously I have no idea how that's all going to fit in, and maybe this is all from the movie, but I got a feeling that a lot of that shit's going to be on the editing room floor, and they're like, just throw in the trailer. We need a trailer out. Let's get a trailer out. It just felt like they needed to get a trailer out.
What worries me is that a lot of stuff is going to be in that thing, and we're going to see this guy slowly break apart and like become the Joker, which, as I say it, sounds cool. So maybe it doesn't worry me as much as I'm thinking.
No, it doesn't.
The thing that worries me is you see what looks like Thomas Wayne on the TV talking about how big a problem it is, and it's just then it cuts directly from that to him with the gun, and you're like, okay, so the Joker, does he kill Batman's parents at the end? Is that where we're going with this?
Joe Chill, like, is that a separate character, or is that in some continuity Joker, the guy that actually kills his parents?
Killing Joke, right?
No, Killing Joke was when he killed Robin.
Yeah.
It's
when he It's when he Batgirl. When he shoots Batgirl.
Shoots Batgirl. In the '89 Batman, it was the Joker.
Joe Kill
that killed him, but it wasn't. That wasn't his name. His name was not Grissom. I'll Google it.
I could be wrong. Joe Kill.
Joe Chill is usually in kind of overarching Batman lore. He's usually used as the character to represent the randomness of crime and stuff, and there are some stuff that uses like compares that to Joker and makes Joe Chill Joker, but they're usually two separate characters.
Yeah, in '89 Batman, it was Jack Napier was the name of the character,
right?
And he actually, a young Jack Napier, was the one that killed his parents,
right?
And so they have that great scene that Belfry was like, "You made me." He's like, "I made you. You made me." I said, "That is natural for you to say." It's good scene.
Yeah,
everyone go watch '89 Batman.
I'm definitely interested in this movie. I'm
interested too.
Don't necessarily want to watch another trailer ever again.
Amen.
But I am excited to watch it. Martin Scorsese's a fucking name, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that dude makes great movies. And, like, could this be a great movie? I think there's still a chance. Because, and then also I have my little theory right now that no chance it'll be true, but, like, how cool would it be if the whole story is painting the Joker as this tragic figure, and at the end, it is him winning over Harley Quinzel?
What is Scorsese doing for this movie?
He's a producer on it.
He's not directing it?
No, Todd Phillips is the director of this movie. Todd Phillips is the guy that gave us Old School, I believe.
That's right. Todd Phillips.
Great director. I'm being serious. I love Tadpoles.
No, I mean old school. Old school is an amazing
He has
movie.
a cameo in Old School. He shows up and he's like, I'm here for the gangbang.
That's a great scene. Anyways, I'm interested. This trailer I think did its job. It made me care.
Oh, Hangover.
That
also
is
the
that is
Hangover.
so true. Where this trailer going in, I was like, fuck this. Now I'm not like fuck this. Now I'm like, okay.
All the images, an image came out earlier this week that had like the joke, like half of the Joker's face kind of on the side, and it was just like, ugh, this doesn't look like something I want to watch. Now watching this trailer, it's like, all right, DC, you have my attention.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll fucking tell you what, Kevin. We're going to hear your thoughts later in this episode about Shazam. If they knock Shazam out of the park, I'm there for Joker day one. Okay. Or over that weekend sometime, that period. In the 4-day period of it coming out, maybe I'll see it. But if Shazam sucks, DC, you've lost me forever until the next trailer comes out and I get my hopes up.
Our big topic this week will be a Shazam review with me and Barrett. Unfortunately, you guys haven't seen it yet. I mean, I haven't seen it yet. I'm watching it today. So that will be done live. Hopefully a transition will happen at some point. But before it does, let's do Out This Week on streaming services. And it is the first of the month. So, well, no, it's not the first. It's the fourth of the month. But, man, a lot of stuff came out. A lot of good stuff. So I'm going to go down the list. All right, on Hulu, you got The Addams Family 1 and 2.
Yay.
Below,
Awesome.
great
Are
movie.
those good movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, The Addams Family 1 is a classic.
I
2
like
is a
Addams
little
Family
bit
Values.
silly, but yeah, they're good movies.
I really enjoy them.
I like them a lot.
And granted, this is a list of movies that I was like excited for, or I thought were like super big and should have included. So go and look them up if you want to see what else is available. We also have The Cable Guy.
Oh man.
Hot Shots Part 2.
Hell yeah, baby.
A movie that Nick I feel like always talks about.
Hot Shots Part 2.
So
Yeah.
good.
The Shining, Up in the Air, a movie I love. One Punch Man season 2 premieres.
Oh.
Did not realize that. Super
Me
stoked
neither.
about
Yeah,
that.
I'm cautiously optimistic because they changed. It's not the original writer.
Animators.
Yeah, I think it's
Well, they
someone
were
else.
taking a long time, right?
It's such a good fucking.
I really
show,
enjoyed
though.
it.
It's the best anime ever
And then
made.
the movie on Hulu that I'm most excited for is A Quiet Place.
Great movie.
Very, very stoked. Haven't seen it. Finally get a chance. No, yeah, that's
oh,
right.
man, Kev, you're going to like it a lot.
Yeah.
Watch it right when Paula goes to bed.
No, Paula really likes scary movies, so I'm going to turn off all the lights.
Yeah,
We're going to
cool.
watch it.
That makes sense. That checks out.
For Amazon Prime, we have Beetlejuice, Beverly Hills Cop 2,
Love it.
Blade 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Oh, those are great. I love them. Escape from LA. A movie
Great
not
movie.
so good, but yeah.
Hey.
Man, the CGI there.
Not
Oof.
good.
Yeah.
Not good.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze.
Oh, yeah.
What's the
The
secret? Watch to find out.
The Shawshank Redemption.
The opening scene of Secret of the Ooze might be the most iconic scene in my childhood. Like them being
Go
in the,
Ninja, go
the, like
Ninja,
toy
go.
store
So
and all that
much
stuff,
fun,
and
yeah.
they jump up, freeze frame. It says Ninja Turtles. Kino's there with the pizza.
What else do we have? Up in the Air again and A Quiet Place again. So you've got options to watch it. Most important for me, The Tick season 2. I'm so excited.
Good. I might just start season 2.
You should.
I'm not gonna
no,
finish season 1.
Just finish season 1. It's 4 episodes. They go by so fast. I might be wrong. It might be more than that. Oh, and then also Interview with a Vampire, The Vampire Chronicles.
With Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Good movie.
Tom Cruise too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Great movie.
It's weird they call it the Vampire Chronicles. Didn't
Well,
really
yeah,
follow
they
that up
only
with
did
too
the
many
one,
good
yeah.
movies. No, they did Queen of the
not
Damned, did a
connected,
few
though,
other
are
ones.
they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Lestat,
Oh.
Vampire Lestat, I think they did one of those too at some point.
No, they just did Queen of the Dam, and I think there might have been
There's a third one in there somewhere that's just
oh.
fucking bad. But Interview with the Vampire is a great movie. Interview with the Vampire, excuse me, is a good movie.
Yeah. Now time for Netflix. One of my favorite movies, Snatch. I love that movie so much. Deliverance, I Am Legend, Pineapple Express, The Fifth Element, Ultraman, the Netflix anime.
Oh.
Yeah,
Pineapple Express is a great movie.
Pineapple Express, great movie.
Craig Robinson in that movie is fucking priceless. It's still warm.
Kevin Hart, Irresponsible, which is the
That's the comedy, the stand-up comedy special.
Tim
of
was
this
talking
new
about.
special.
Yeah. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Part 2.
Hell yeah.
Very excited about
Watching
that
that
too.
shit. I got so many good things to watch this weekend. Maybe I'll stay away from New York. Maybe I'll just sit home and watch them with my pants off. I'll call Kevin. Kevin, are your pants off? Yeah.
And
Nick.
then Unicorn Store.
What?
Movie that-
The Unicorn Store?
Yeah.
The fuck is
You
that?
didn't see this?
No.
It's a movie. I thought about including it in the trailer because it's real interesting looking, but it's just like this woman who's got like, I don't know, I think she's a lawyer or something, and like some random
Brie
dudes.
Larson?
Is that Brie Larson?
Yeah, it's Brie Larson.
Oh, wow.
And like some dude, like
her
meets her at low
directorial
points.
debut. That's cool.
Oh.
Or
He's
at
like,
least she
hey,
directed. I don't know if
what's
it's her
the one
debut,
thing in the
but-
world you've always wanted? And she remembers when she was a kid, she wanted a unicorn. He's like, all right, cool.
Wait. Does that Samuel L. Jackson in it also?
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson's the dude that comes up to her. It looks very interesting. Watch the trailer. Go and find it and watch it.
Whoa, weird. I should
Yeah.
probably watch Room first, though.
It looks like a weird
Please
movie,
watch
though.
Room.
No.
That movie's
It
so
looks intense.
It's
It's
very
upsetting.
intense.
It's the same reason why I won't watch Abducted in Plain Sight or whatever that documentary
That's
is.
different.
I can't.
No,
Don't
yeah,
watch
that's.
Don't raise a child in your basement.
And then movies out near you. Shazam.
Shazam.
Movie called High Life that looks really, really like noir and crazy about like people going to space and they're like a dude and his like baby like being the last survivors of this like ship. It looks really crazy though. It's a weird movie.
Oh, that's the one with Pedro Pascal, right?
Maybe.
What's it called?
I don't think it is actually. High Life. And then
No, I'm wrong.
The Best of Enemies. Yeah, the Pedro Pascal one looks really cool.
Robert Pattinson.
That's right, it's Robert Pattinson. And then The
played
Best
Edward
of Enemies, another
Starr.
interesting looking movie.
Which one?
The Best of Enemies.
Cool.
It's about desegregation in like schools and a sheriff that is
Also,
played by a really good actor. Oh man, I looked this up, but I didn't write it down.
Is it the guy from
Sam
Iron Man 2?
Rockwell
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell, yeah. Yeah.
and Taraji P. Henson.
did you include Pet Cemetery on there?
No, I didn't. Good catch, dude. Wait, is Pet Sematary widely released? Great catch.
What?
Pet Sematary coming out this weekend. And am I going to convince Paula to go watch it? I'm going to try. You're not into it?
Not at all, and it's because they cast that one guy that I just don't like him. The guy who was in Terminator
Rock from the
Genesis.
Sun?
No, John Lithgow. How dare you? He's amazing.
No.
Yeah.
I was like,
John Lithgow's amazing. No, I
You're
just don't. I
totally
don't
right
like that
about
one
that.
guy as the lead actor. I like him in other stuff. I've seen him in stuff, but I just don't like him as a lead.
Now it's time for your topics. So last week I asked, do you want Apple TV Plus? A lot of people said no. Just no.
Did anyone say yes?
No. Not that.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Sorry,
air.
hold on. So Ron said, I hate to say this, but I'll never get Apple TV Plus because there's so many original streaming services and the only shows that grab my attention are based on IPs I already love, like Star Wars and Marvel and DC.
Disney Plus.
Ron, maybe try some new stuff. It's interesting. Mike Towndrow.
Try live your life right.
But why are you looking at me like that?
No.
You just-
It's good.
Mike Towndrow says both the Kamal and I can never say his last name. Nanjiani?
Kumail
Nanjiani.
Nanjiani.
That Nanjiani. Little America and Taika Waititi's Time Bandits.
Waititi.
YTD, you're right. Would get me to sub for a limited time just because I adore their work. I have Netflix, which included with my T-Mobile plan, Prime, and Hulu Live TV. I'd rather Disney take the fourth slot for a limited time with Mandalorian and its MCU shows. Hell, I'd go Criterion with their stellar content first before Apple. So yeah, not a lot of people really into Apple.
You know what else people don't use a lot? The phrase I'd go Criterion on that ass. That's, you know what I mean?
Not enough. Not often enough.
You got to
know?
use that all the time. I go
Yeah.
Criterion.
I'm going to use that next time
All the
I
time.
have the opportunity.
Cool. All right, so now we are gonna.
Well,
Cut
what's next week's bronze?
Oh, next week's bronze has to do with with our big topic, which we're going into next, which is
Shazam. What do you think about it? Did
Give me
you
your-
enjoy it?
give me 140 characters. Give me your review for Shazam. Did you enjoy it? I'm very excited to watch
I'm looking
it. I
forward
have
to it.
very high
I'm going to
hopes.
see it on Monday.
Are you really?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
I'll give you my second impressions next week.
Your second impression?
Yeah, you get the first impressions
give
on
him
the
a
show
third.
right now. I'm going to give you second impressions. Remember when IGN used to do like a second review?
No.
Because they were worried that the first review wasn't good enough.
I'm gonna go ahead and now cut to me and Barrett live.
Oh, what a different time.
Oh, hey, welcome, guys. I hope everything is running smoothly and that transition went good. But here I am, and Barrett will be joining us momentarily. He is currently setting everything up so that the stream continues correctly. Can you hit start? There it is. All right. As always, we're going to be doing our review. The first 5 or so minutes are going to be top level stuff. Just do we recommend it or not? And then afterwards, we're going to go in there real deep.
Yeah, we're gonna go real deep.
Spoilers.
What's up, Kev? This is like the first show we've done together.
Yeah. And I asked if you wanted a lower third that I could make come out with my phone, but you were like, nah, this is cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for making it easy for me.
I don't want people following me anyway.
No, untighten it.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
No, untighten it. Untighten the base. There you go. Yeah, you got it. So last night, we both separately went to watch Shazam.
Yeah, and just to give some context here, no one's in the office right now.
No,
so,
it's literally just us. Yeah.
No one's running the board, so I have Amy Gills on standby in the chat. Let me know if
anything goes wrong.
Anything goes wrong, and then I
Got
can
it.
go and try and fix it and stuff. But yeah, we went to go see it separately last night. You had bought tickets
For the 8:30 show.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't want to stay up that late. And even doing the 7:15, going into the 7:15, I was like, man, I'm tired.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the movie is not a short movie.
It's not. It definitely does not feel like a short movie.
So I think we got home at 11:30. And, you know, would I have rather watched it a little bit early? Maybe. But it makes it easier for Paula.
The runtime was 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Felt longer. It felt a little longer.
Felt a little long.
So yeah, what are your surface level impressions?
Surface level stuff. I loved it.
Yeah.
I legit just enjoyed almost every moment of it. I thought it was so much fun. This is what I want from my superhero movies. I want fun, and that's what this movie gave me.
Yeah.
So much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, we were talking about it before we came on here. It's a definitely, like, the last couple of movies have been a huge tonal shift for the universe, and in this one I felt it especially, where I wish we could have gone back, specifically with this movie, back before this whole universe started, and maybe start the universe with this movie, because I think
That'd been really cool.
within the context of this movie, it sets up like its tone and like the universe within this movie well, and it would have been cooler to build off from here rather than Man of Steel, which didn't feel like it was trying to set any like a bigger universe up, but then they did anyway. But yeah, it's super fun. Zachary Levi was like, there's very few people who, like, when you see someone play a role, you're like, oh, like they
This
were
guy
meant
nailed
for
it, yeah.
Zachary Levi nails it as Shazam, and the kids are fun. I don't know any of the actors' names for the kids. I should probably pull up IMDb.
One of the kids was the
terrible
one
names.
who was in It, and he
Yeah.
played Freddy.
He was the one who
we all love.
he was the one who posted himself smoking marijuana.
Oh, did he do that?
Yeah, he did. But yeah, I didn't know that. But I think it's the friend Freddie, right? What you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alyssa pointed out to me last night. He's like, oh, he's one of the kids from It. And I was trying to remember. I was like, who is he? Oh my God, it's the kid with the cast.
Yeah.
And he looks so much younger in that movie. Like, he
So
grew the
much
fuck
younger,
up
yeah.
in like
Growing
2-3
happens real
years.
fast.
Yeah. Some grown up kids, you know what I'm saying?
So, what'd you think about the movie?
Yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed it. I think there were some, like, not overall pacing issues, but there was like just a couple scenes where it's like, all right, we're running a little long here. Like there are like a couple scenes where it's like there are great moments throughout like this like sequence or whatever, but I think we still could have like caught a little stuff here and there to like still nail these scenes, but give it a little like less time where I'm like impatiently trying to pee. I don't know if they felt long because I had to pee or
I think
maybe
well, I mean,
a little bit of both.
There were some shots, and we talked about this earlier today. There were some shots where it's like, these both could have been cut down. There's two specifically ones, and we'll get into them when we're talking about spoilers, where it's like, this could have been cut down a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I thought they did a good job making the movie fun.
Right.
Yeah, and I felt like they made characters that, like, I liked.
Yeah.
So many characters that I liked. It's like
this reminds me, in a weird way, I'm going to compare this to Guardians, not in the sense of, but mainly in the sense of like, this movie is really just about the hero. Like they do some stuff with the villain, and I don't want to like spoil anything too much, but like, I didn't feel like the villain was super important, and that didn't like bring it down for me at all. Like Ronan in Guardians wasn't super, he was a bad guy doing bad stuff, and the appeal of the movie was seeing the heroes come together, and the appeal of this movie is is Shazam and what's the kid's name?
Or the actor?
Billy, like kind of learning like what like his responsibilities are and like messing around with these powers. Like we've seen in trailers of them like, let's see if you can fly, and he like goes up a little bit and falls. And there's some more stuff around that I want to talk about when we get to spoilers. But yeah, it's super fun. The best friend Freddy was hilarious and awesome. And yeah, this is like the first movie that I've watched for the DC where I'm like, I'm kind of excited for the future. If like they build off of Shazam more, like I'm so
definitely 100%. I actually really enjoyed Aquaman. I know you're not a big fan of it.
I enjoyed Jason Momoa in Aquaman. I did not enjoy Aquaman.
I thought it was a fun movie, and I think both these latest DC movies are fun. Yeah. And they're filled with so much fun, and it's like, cool. This is what I want from this universe.
Yeah, and it sucks that it's taken them so long to get here. And I was saying to you, I think this is by far the best DC movie all around. Like I really love Wonder Woman, but the third act kind of like falls apart. Aquaman, I think, has a lot of issues, but Jason Momoa kicks ass in it. But yeah, I think like throughout the movie, it's like a solid plot. You understand stuff. There's like a little things here and there where I'm like, I don't get that, but fun performances. There's like some like melodramatic stuff like every once in a while. It's like, all right.
Yeah, there was a couple of moments where it's like, man, they are overacting so hard. But I think that the movie, and like you said, there's a couple moments also where it's like, how do they know that information? But I think that the movie's so much fun that like, I don't care. Like I'm just going to have fun with this.
And that's cool. Like we've had those issues in the past before with DC movies, but the quality of the rest of the movie didn't let us forget those things. Right. I was like, oh man, like why is all this stuff happening? But then Shazam, it's like it's so fun and like the performances are great and all that stuff. So the little things you're like, who cares?
Right.
You know, so I'm excited that DC is slowly but surely learning. But we'll see in the future if they nail it with future movies.
You ready to go into some spoiler territory?
I'm ready to go into some spoiler territory.
Before we do that, would you recommend people go see this movie in theaters?
I highly recommend people go see this movie in theaters. If you're not doing anything this weekend, go see it. If you're not doing anything next weekend, go see it. I think this is a good old fun time for the entire family. You know what I'm saying, Kev?
I really 100% agree with that. I think that this movie, I hope it does well because it certainly has a lot of heart and it's really fun. Yeah. So if you're out there and you're like, I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence, go check it out. I really think it's something worth watching. And if you are at our bronze tier on Patreon, please send me your 140 character review. I want to know how you guys felt about it. All right? Now, Barrett, why don't you go up there and turn the little spoiler button on so that we can start discussing spoilers because they're coming. Let's see. All right, spoiler bros are up. All right, tight. We can't see it, and it probably won't be up to... No, I can't see it. I can't see it. It won't be up for the YouTube version, but we have time codes there, so if there's any concerns...
I have a time thing right here, so I'll put in the time code for YouTube and audio listeners and all that good stuff. So...
My first question to you is, how much do you know about Shazam going in this?
Almost nothing.
I'm in the same boat. I've never liked Captain Marvel, which is his name. Yeah. And it's funny that at no point do they say his like superhero name, but like that makes total sense with Captain Marvel being a Marvel movie that just came out. Right. Going in knowing almost nothing about a superhero is so interesting. All I know is that his powers are on par with like Superman. Yeah. And like being like such a Superman, but like fan. I've always hated Shazam because it's all magic based. But I think that it's such a good job introducing that into this world. Right. Yeah.
I think like knowing the very little that I know about Shazam as a character and seeing him in like I hate to say this, the most I know of him is like basically from Injustice and like Injustice 1 and like seeing like his character and like learning about like, oh, he's a kid and he turns into a superhero and stuff. Like I think they really nailed the like this kid trying to like of course a kid today when he gets these powers is not gonna go and like fight crime and stuff. Like he's gonna
he
like
was trying, but like it's just one of those things like how do you figure that out?
Well,
yeah.
Like there was like the first day where like, you know, the guys are robbing the store and he like messes them up and I love
the scene right before that, like where he comes out to those two guys and one of them shoots him and they have that very serious like, oh shit,
no,
you're bulletproof.
Yeah, and they're like, shoot me again, shoot me again.
So funny. So fun. What a great concept to have two kids be like, hey, now one of us has powers. Yeah, let's make a YouTube channel and like put that stuff online. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what right kids would do, you know?
Yeah, I think they nailed that aspect of it. I thought like the opening, like the two kind of scenes that I had, like I was like, all right, this is getting a little long. Was like the opening scene where they open up and it's like in the 70s, and Shazam or the wizard Shazam has been looking for someone, Peer of Heart, to defend the seven sins from our world. Yeah. And
trying to pick a champion.
Yeah, and so this kid Thaddeus is like in a car, and his dad and his brother are fucking horrible to him.
Horrible fucking human beings.
And so he gets like brought into that realm or whatever, and he's like, you need to do a test though, and you need to like not be sucked in by the seven sins. He obviously like gets sucked in, and this
fails the test.
Yeah, fails the test, gets kicked out, and like starts freaking out. But like
cripples his own father by accident.
I know, and like
although I don't necessarily think that was his fault as much as like why would everyone start screaming and fighting? But like this is the dysfunctional family he comes from.
Yeah, and so we're building our villain here, and I like there were moments where I was like, all right, this is a little long, but it still kind of surprised me. Like even after they kind of swirl out and stuff, and they're in the middle of the kind of intersection, and then out of nowhere a car comes and fucks them up. I was like, oh damn, that got me. Yeah. But yeah. And then we go to Billy Batson, who has been looking for his mother, which was I loved the whole kind of plot here, where like how he remembers that memory with rose tinted glasses, where he's like, oh, I want the tiger, and she's like, you know, like I'm gonna get it for you, like I'm trying, and all that stuff, and her giving him like the little
it was a compass.
Little ball compass thing, and she was like, yeah, you can use it to find your way home. And then later on, when Billy actually finds his mother, and she has no memory of the fucking compass, and like so that was heartbreaking.
That was heartbreaking. This movie has a lot of beautifulness to it. It's got a lot of heart, but man, does it also have a lot of like heartbreak. Yeah, because like that scene was devastating.
Yeah, I knew trouble was afoot. Like even like Alyssa and I looked at each other very early on, like when he can't find it, like his mother never came to like find him and like all this stuff. Yeah, like Alyssa, we got a delivery. I'll go get it.
Okay. Like we said earlier, we are totally unprepared for any like thing that come and shake up our day, like a normal UPS package where someone else would just handle it. We are the only ones here. We don't buzz them in. They won't give us their package. But yeah. No? Nothing? No. Oh, okay. You know what? They was probably UPS delivering and just dropping it in. We'll grab it later.
Gotcha. Where was I at, though?
Talking about
the mom. Yeah. And so you knew there. Yeah. Alyssa and I were looking at each other like, yeah, there's no fucking way she did. Like, she's either dead or she abandoned him. Yeah, this is fucking ridiculous. And then like,
but it was like dead would be like, how did she die that immediately? You know?
Yeah.
She would have had to die right away.
And so the yeah, like that whole sequence of like him going and like right when he gets into the building and you like hear people arguing in like an apartment, it's like, oh, she's still not in a great place. And like her reasoning for it. And this was like, I was a little confused where she was like, I was 17, you were like 3. I was like, did she have this kid at 14?
Yeah, I guess so. People do that.
But yeah, it was like, but then they kind of like made it believable of like how young she was. She got kicked out from like her family kicked her out, and the husband was, or the father was in jail or left or whatever.
He had wanted nothing to do with it.
Right. Yeah. And Yeah, and then when she looked at it, like him being taken care of by the police, she was like, "This is the better life for him," and stuff. And I love that, like, and that kind of tied in with one of the main themes was like you got to find and choose where your home is, and like that in that moment, he was like, "I'm gonna go like." I got to go back to my real family.
I just wanted to say hi.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, God.
That whole thing.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it brought a lot of heart to a movie that was, for the most part, comedy.
Yeah.
And it had those little glimpses, and it got very real for a moment. And I like that they were able to do that without it feeling super out of place.
Right.
Yeah.
It tied together well. But with the comedy, though, man, like these kids are fucking hilarious. You got, I think the youngest, the kid who was playing like with his Eugene, was playing with the games the entire time, and when they all come together and become the Shazam family at the end, where he does the Hadouken,
so good,
great.
Dude, the little girl was one of my favorite characters, and there's a big moment where Shazam figures out, I can give this power to my siblings.
Yeah.
And they all become, and like the little girl, she must be like 6.
I mean, she goes to the same school, but like, is that like a K through 12?
That must be a K through 12 because the oldest sister was
going to college.
So you gotta imagine she's like 17 or 18.
Yep.
That little girl character is just
Darla is her name.
Darla, that's right. Darla is just, every time she like chimed in, I was like, "What's Darla gonna say?"
A good sister keeps secrets, you know. It's some great moments.
Now, just to go back really quick to talk about some of the problems I had, there were like the pacing issue. That first scene with Thaddeus was really long. I think it could have been shrunken down a little bit.
I feel like everything with Thaddeus was just like, all right, like let's get back to this.
It wasn't about him. This is an origin movie. Thaddeus is very much, he's the negative Shazam.
Yeah, it's the Phase 1 Marvel movie trope of like, you got to fight the bad version of yourself.
And then at the end, the other scene that was a little long was the actual fight against him in the Seven Sins.
But a lot of great moments throughout that entire sequence, you know?
Yeah, so what I was going to say, typically, there's a big problem with superhero movies, especially like DC too, with the big gray monster.
Yeah, third acts and stuff like that. The
third act is always this big gray monster that like, doesn't matter. It's just going to overpower. But what I like that this movie did different was that we had the reveal of the Shazam family where he makes everyone Shazam and
cool.
have the power of Shazam in them.
And that moment where he's like, all right, say my name. Billy! Fucking awesome.
It's like, no, say the name that I say.
Yeah, like just like great comedic timing everywhere, sprinkled throughout this movie, and even when they like all get the powers and someone throws something at Darla and she goes like avoids it, she's like, I think I can go really fast, and
but I thought that was a cool twist on like the big gray character, the big gray villain.
Yeah,
just because it's like suddenly it made it about just them discovering their powers because they all had like unique abilities,
right?
Unlike Shazam, where he kind of had all of them. So that was cool. Yeah. Compliments to DC for kind of changing that up a little bit.
Yeah. And there was, one of my favorite shots in the movie is when he leaves the mom's place and he's like, I got to go save my It's that shot of him running off the building, jumping and doing the Shazam, and him turning into him mid-air was so fucking tight. I'm trying to think of if anything else that stands out in this movie.
There is some...
The melodramatic scene was the Thaddeus going to his dad's company.
Yeah, where he murders
right.
everyone. And it's just like there was a dude outside. While it was funny, and I think that kind of helps it, the overacting in it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
It absolutely was. Yeah. But yeah, it was like cool to see them all like work together, and it's like even before that when he's Shazam and he saves the older sister, and like it was cool to see him like, okay, like in this weird way where I'm a superhero, I can learn how to be a part of a family and connect with my older sibling and all that stuff, and it was so dope.
Yeah. Really enjoyed it. Another thing that kind of was like, there are a lot of moments where it's like, how do they figure out so quickly that Thaddeus can get hurt without the 7 sins in him?
Right, and how did they also know that they were the 7 sins? I don't think that was like discussed in front of the rest of the kids.
Did Shazam, the wizard, not tell Billy?
Well, he told Billy, but there was never a moment where Billy was like, those are like he has the 7 sins inside of him. So it's just like when they, again, it was like a minor point where I was like, I don't think they've talked about the sins in that whole plot in front of the rest of the kids. But yeah, it was like, God, the coolest moment was when they all turned to Shazam, and the rest of the movie was just
also,
so fucking
being that
cool.
I know so little about Shazam, I didn't know he had a family. I didn't know the Shazam family was a thing.
Alyssa was reading up on it last night, and it sounds like this whole like take on it was based off of the New 52 run, which is cool to see that, you know, even though the New 52 run is kind of very recent, that people are kind of already starting to adapt stories from there. So I love the New 52.
Another thing that is interesting that they're the 7 sins, but only 6 of the like Shazam family.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
there's a missing sibling.
Yeah.
And it gets a little confusing because the theory is it's Black Adam.
Black Adam.
But it's also confusing because if Black Adam was the original champion, like they were like inferring, then it would be
weird.
if they're implying that Black Adam was the original champion, then Black Adam would have had 6 other brothers and sisters.
Right.
So who's that 7th?
But if Black Adam never died and still has the power in him,
Interesting.
you know what I mean? Like maybe
that's a
that's
good point.
why they didn't have it. It was interesting that there was the character Pedro, which I feel like only was there because they needed a 6th guy and like barely contributed to this. I think he has like one line where he's like, cool.
Well, there was that one moment where it was like, he's throwing away a paper where he got like an F and whatever, and that never got brought back. And I was like,
no, but like that was used to be to grab attention to his notebook where he had all the addresses of his mom.
He could have just been throwing anything. Like, I love that they were like specifically like,
failing.
he's not doing well in school, and they never bring it back up. But yeah, one of my favorite moments was when they're trying to sneak out of school, like after like the first or second day, it's like, like your parent needs to physically be here. It's like, like there's my dad, and then it like goes and Shazam, and then goes back in. It's like, I'm the adult man, and I just came back from the business office.
And then we get that another great moment where it's like, this is the great security you always talk about, and he's like, oh no, that's the other one. This is the one that sucks. Yeah, I don't know the actor's name. What's his name? The kid that plays Freddy?
Jack Dylan Grazer.
Jack Dylan Grazer, man, he got them comedy chops.
He does.
He really does.
Yeah.
He made this movie like so enjoyable.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm looking up because there's some definitely some important end stuff here. I think the first thing to easily talk about is the post-credit scene where they're like where he's trying to talk to Fish, and so funny. I'm glad you bring that up because there is one more thing I wanted to say. Every time we see Freddy, he's wearing a different superhero shirt. Yeah, and
where he has Aquaman and Batman and Superman shirts on, and it's just cool the way that like they're like, this universe is real, and like these are a couple kids from like that aren't in Metropolis or Gotham, but like they're still like, oh man, Aquaman's cool.
Yeah, and it's like what kind of power is that? Talking to Fish is like, dude, Aquaman, you can control everything in the ocean. He's like, Aquaman sucks. It's like so fucking great. And then the last scene, because like one of the big things was when Billy was being shitty and like I'm talking about the lunch.
Yeah,
and like,
the fish scene was the last scene.
Yeah, that was the post credits.
The mid credit scene was the one you're I think about to talk to about.
No, really? The mid credit scene we'll get to in a second.
Sorry.
But one of the main things was like missing this lunch that Billy was supposed to have with Freddy as Shazam, and that didn't happen, and that becomes a whole thing. But I love at the end where he like comes and he's like, look at my buddy Billy or Freddy, and what's up, and like, what's up kids I've never met, but like you guys seem cool, and it's like, is it okay if I brought a friend? And then the fucking Alyssa gasped so hard when Superman walked in.
It was a gasp
and it was
moment.
very unfortunate that they could not get what's his face to come back just for a second, man.
Here's the thing: they couldn't get Henry Cavill to come back, but they didn't even try to get someone whose torso looked like it. I wouldn't be
was, like,
surprised
so
if it was like
skinny.
a mannequin with like a muscle thing on, because it looked so bad. But what a cool little like thing to throw at the end to
Yeah.
just be like, oh whoa.
And that goes back to my argument earlier of just like I think this would have been the cool movie, like the cool first movie to start this universe.
Absolutely.
To like slowly tease of like the Batman toys and all of the superhero gear and all of that stuff, and then bring Superman in and not show his face at the last second. That was really cool. And then the mid-credit scene, we got a tease early on in the movie when Thaddeus is a kid and he goes into like the weird realm. We see a caterpillar at the beginning of the film. We see a caterpillar in a jar, and then when Billy comes, we see that the caterpillar is no longer there. And so at the mid-credit scene, we get Thaddeus writing on the walls, being crazy.
He's trying to make that the
portal,
open the door.
Yeah. Shout out to that scene where he's talking to the scientist and she touches the door and just fucking burns up.
Why did it burn her and not him?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who fucking cares?
It was like a very dramatic scene because it just came out of nowhere. Suddenly, like this girl is just dead that he was talking to.
And then some weird like voice comes in and is like, you like mortals think like this is the only way to get magic and you're so like closed-minded and stuff. And then we get a shot of the weird caterpillar and they're teasing the weird caterpillar to be a villain. And that caterpillar, if you didn't know, because I didn't know, I had to look it up, is Mr. Mind.
Mr. Mind.
So we'll see how that works out.
I hope we get more of these movies. There was also the when Shazam the Wizard is explaining things to Billy Batson. He kind of shows like he does this magic thing where he can kind of does holograms golden sparkles, and we see that like there was a champion that went bad and released these 7 sins. And that to me it looked like that was The Rock.
Vaguely enough like The Rock, where they can maybe pull it off if The Rock opts out of being Black Adam to maybe get someone else.
If these movies, if Shazam continues to be as fun as it is right now, I'm in, dude.
I'm all in.
I'm all in. And like adding The Rock as a villain in one of these would be awesome. Would be great. I'm down.
I got this from Collider. In the comics, Mr. Mind works through the Monster Society of Evil, a team of supervillains and one of the first supervillain teams comprised of villains that the hero had fought previously as... What the fuck?
Keep going.
In the comics, Savannah is frequently a member of the Monster Society, so it's no surprise that in the post-credit scene for Shazam, Mr. Mind comes to recruit him. So he might not be a villain in the next one. It might be like a slow build of him like making a team or whatever. So that'll be interesting to see how they
building the Sinister Six.
Yeah, the Sinister Six for Shazam, basically. Yeah. So any other big moments or anything?
Anything else that I want to bring up? I just overall this movie had me laughing almost the entire time, and I feel like the whole theater was reacting the same way. And it's just like, I'm not saying that DC can't make any serious movies, and I honestly like Joker could be really cool. Yeah. So I hope that they put a lot of effort into making a Joker a good, serious, dark movie. Mm-hmm. But also, if they keep putting out fun movies, I'm gonna they're gonna change my perception on it. Unfortunately, the movies that have come out, I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah, and I think that
this certainly starts to sway my opinion.
Yeah, and I think that's a problem with everybody trying to be the Nolan of the DC movies now, and without having anything really important to say. And I think that's what has been the problem with the serious tones. Like I love serious. Like The Dark Knight's one of my favorite movies, but I think you run into a problem when there's really no commentary or anything important to say in these movies when you take this darker tone. And I think starting off with a lighter tone like Shazam would have been a smarter idea for this universe, and then build to stuff like what they try to do in Man of Steel and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of DC was maybe hurt a little bit by Nolan's trilogy because those movies are so good and so well regarded.
And he was over it, and he decided he wanted to leave.
Which makes sense. I mean, like if you've got a story to tell and then there's no more passion afterwards, you told your story. Yeah, it's time to move on. Yep. And like no one wants to do something that they're only kind of into. Right. So that was the right call for him, I'd say. But I just think it's unfortunate that kind of got everyone hyped up for a darker, more realistic, DC universe. Yeah.
Borzen00 in the chat is quoting, "Hands, lightning from my hands." God fucking damn it. This movie's so good.
Yeah. Like him putting all the videos, or Freddie putting up all the videos on YouTube, it feels very like
teleportation tests, secret fire invincibility
so
tests.
funny. Yeah, but like that just feels like something that like we would do if like Cool Gray got superpowers. We would absolutely be like, all right, let's figure these things out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like Shazam, and obviously, if you're in the spoiler territory, you've seen it, and if you haven't, you're a crazy person.
Well, if you haven't, and like, hopefully this motivates you to go see it because I really think it's worth seeing.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to bring up about Shazam?
No, I think I said all I had to say today, Kev. Is it time to take our pants off? No one else is in
Turn
the
the
office.
lights off first. You know what I mean? Jesus.
All right, I'm gonna go back over there. Do you want to close out the show?
Yeah, I'll try my best.
Okay. I believe in you.
But we want to hear what you think too. At the bronze Patreon tier, please give me your thoughts about Shazam. Keep it to 140 characters, nice and short. I want to see if you liked it, if you enjoyed it as much as I did, or if you hate it. And if you hate it, tell me why. It's easy to just say you hate something. Explain it, you know? Thank you for watching Screencast this week. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you want to catch more of Barrett, you can follow him on Twitter at SadBoyBarrett. Yep. Not Kinda Funny Barrett. No. Sad Boy Barrett. If you want to hear my thoughts, I always do my little mini reviews when I go to the movies. Hopefully I'll go to see Pet Sematary this week. You can follow me at Kinda Funny Kevin. Go to the movies. Yeah, that's how I'm going to end. Go to the movies.
That's how you're ending?
Yeah.